Google sucks now. No one likes using Google anymore. It's not a good search engine. I'm pretty sure most people, when they look up something on Google, put Reddit at the end if it's not like a website they're trying to get to or like a specific article from like a news website. Because for some reason, whenever you look anything up that isn't the most basic thing imaginable, Google cannot find it anymore. It is impossible for it to find. You'll look up the exact words for an article sometimes, and it doesn't pop up. Like, you have a screenshot of this article. You know it exists. You're reading it, and you have the date in the screenshot, and it's recent. And this article is nowhere to be found for seemingly no reason at all. And this has been an increasingly big problem with Google. I don't know exactly how it got this bad. From what I've heard, it's SEO. Basically, everyone who has a website now is completely search engine optimized, and they all know how to do it. So regardless of what you look up, the tags are just probably wrong, or at least so vague that it doesn't help you. So whatever website you look up, they've probably labeled their website or article with so many different tags that it just encompasses everything, so you can't actually find what you need. That is how I understand it. And it is probably one of the biggest reasons why I hate using Google now to find things. And I was hoping that ChatGPT would be better at this, but honestly, they kind of suck at it too. I will ask it to find specific things, and it can't do it, and I'm like, I know this exists, dude. I'm looking at the article. And to clarify real quick, I don't mean articles that are fake that I can't find, because that has happened before. I've tried to find an article and I'm just like, no, this is just fake. Like, I already kind of suspected it was fake, and I look it up and it's nowhere to be seen. It's probably fake. I'm saying I've seen this article before. I screenshotted it and I can't find it again. That's what I'm talking about here. And unless like CNN or Wall Street Journal or name whatever news organization deleted it, why can't I find it again? That's what I'm talking about. Now, to be fair, I haven't tried it in a while, and I also haven't used the Microsoft Bing AI in a while. It could be a lot better now. I know that ChatGPT image generation is actually insanely good. It's actually a little concerning how fast it improved, because it was like 0 to 100 real quick. AI generations had a lot of issues with faces and eyes especially. It just never got the details that great, especially in videos. It's still not great at that in general, but at this point, I think by the end of the year, it's probably gonna be really good at it, which is a little concerning. But AI generations from like a year ago had a lot of problems. They just didn't look super detailed, and now they look really detailed. And honestly, there's some floating around that people just get tricked by because they look really real. Even people who know what to look for are gonna have issues telling what is not AI and what is at this point, because it's not always easy. Because the AI has stuff it's really good at and some stuff it's really bad at. Like, for example, hands are still a problem for it. It has a tendency to add extra fingers because at the end of the day, the AI doesn't have an understanding of like why you have fingers and why they're connected to your hands and like human anatomy and all that kind of stuff, because it's a robot. So it just adds extra things sometimes because it doesn't know why it's like that. It's just copying what it knows. And I'm sure they'll eventually tune it to a point where it just doesn't do that kind of stuff, but like at the moment it still does. Overall, that point is AI art has gotten really good. It's only gonna get better. But ChatGPT for search is not that useful. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but as of now, it hasn't been super useful to me. And I have tried, because Google annoys me to no end. When I'm doing videos on statins, like a why X animal should go extinct, sometimes it's hard to find information because Google just won't show it to me. And then I'll get some weird article that has a condition I've never heard of in a dog or something, and I'll look it up, and no other source is like, yeah, this condition exists. And I don't know if that's just Google being bad or that website making something up. So I just had to scrap it because I'm like, I can't include this if I can't confirm if it's a real thing or not. Now, the reason I said Google sucks today and not any other day is because Jeff Bezos decided to back a search engine startup that is going to make Google look legacy and old. Now, I will say I am on board with Google falling, because at this point, I just need a search engine that works. But I also don't know if I want Jeff Bezos to also own that search engine. That doesn't sound very fun for me. And also, let me say, Jeff Bezos has every reason to say this in the world. He just backed this startup company. Him saying it's gonna make Google look legacy and old is what you would expect of a guy who just invested in a new search engine startup. The search engine is called Perplexity, which I think is an okay name. I don't see any issues with it, which is probably what you want for like a search engine. It's just very okay. As long as it doesn't sound bad, I think you're good. I'm gonna start giving this search engine a go to see if it, it's any use, but I will say, the first time I tried to use this, it was not a good experience because I really don't like when browsers do stuff like this. Why would you play a noise when I go to type something in, dude? Why? And then anytime I tabbed out of this tab to do it, it just does it every time. Who wants this? Nobody wants this. So that's not a good start to the search engine. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a single person who likes this kind of thing. But every time you hover over it, just makes a noise. It's great, right? And also, I tried to turn off the sound. I made an account and everything, and I tried to go to the settings to turn off the sound. I can't find the option. I really assumed it would be an option, but I don't think it is. I even asked Perplexity how I turn off the sound in Perplexity, and it doesn't have that information. This is like Siri not being able to answer a question about your phone. Why would this not be the first thing you program into the software? I don't understand. It is an AI-assisted search engine that uses like a chatbot kind of model. Why can't I ask it how to turn off stuff in its own thing? I don't understand. I'll never understand this. I never will. Besides that annoying sound it makes, to know if this thing is actually useful, I'm gonna have to actually use it like in day to day. So I'm gonna give it a go, and I might update, I might not. I will say though, off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of not linking the source as like the first thing and just giving me a generated answer, because we know that ChatGPT hallucinates, dude. Like literally, it just makes things up. There was a lawyer who cited cases that weren't real because ChatGPT said they were real and even gave them case numbers, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them putting the answer first and then not the source first. I'm not a huge fan of that. And the funny part about ChatGPT hallucinating is the fact that no one knows why, because it will say crazy things, and then the engineers will check the database to see if it's in the database, and it's not. And to be clear, I don't think ChatGPT is like conscious or anything. It's just a really complicated piece of software, and sometimes it makes up court cases. It happens. But Perplexity, the search engine, is free, so if you want to use it, you can. They also do have a paid version, and the paid version also lets you swap between a bunch of different AI chatbots, so that's pretty cool. It's also only $20 a month, and I say only because I know for a fact they are not making money on this. I am pretty sure that AI is insanely expensive and no one can really afford it at the current prices they're charging, and they're all kind of just winging it. I think the idea is they keep going until hardware is cheaper so they can eventually be profitable. I just don't know if that's how it's gonna play out, because honestly, I think the more likely thing is that hardware gets cheaper for the same amount of power, but then they just buy the more expensive stuff anyways because they want it to go faster. That'd be my guess. But who knows? Maybe NVIDIA will pull some godly GPU that can run ChatGPT for 1 watt or something weird like that. Who knows? Okay? At this point, anything is possible. At least that's what it feels like. So I went to go install Perplexity, the Chrome extension, and I saw it at 3.5 stars, which is kind of low, especially with 13 ratings. If it's good, I expect like, 4 or 5. With that low of ratings, I would hope that everyone's kind of on board with it. And apparently, if I installed this, it would have messed up my entire Chrome setup. So that's not good. If you're trying to advertise something for like power users, you should probably not do that. Like, I know a lot of the AI tools recently have been for people who can't use a computer, but this is supposed to be something that's like for people who search things on Google and can't find things that are niche. Right? I don't know. Maybe a misunderstanding who this is for. But yeah, it's not a good look when people are saying you destroyed their entire Chrome setup. So yeah, just wanted to throw that in. But even if Perplexity doesn't become super mainstream or something, I hope Google at least improves their SEO and search engine stuff. Because seriously, it is so hard to find certain things now. I know you can find really general things. It's not super difficult. But finding specific things, it just gives you articles that are completely off topic. It is so irritating. And Google's needed to do something about this for a while. They've just been very lazy because they didn't have any competition for a long time. Okay, Bing was nothing. And then ChatGPT came along and Google realized they were in trouble. Because I don't know if you noticed, but Google's been doing a lot of AI stuff recently, and all their demos have been questionable. I'm saying questionable because I can't remember the severity of how bad their demos were from a lying perspective. So I'm gonna put screenshots on screen of the articles because I know it's bad. But yeah, Google got really desperate and really needed to impress investors because ChatGPT looked way better. But who knows? I just want to find articles when I'm researching niche topics. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, @Spat21, and click the end screen down, check out more of my content, and have a good one.